Hey guys, long time no see. I'm sorry. Guys, I have a life. I'm not like these famous YouTubers who have, money pouring out of the walls and out of their and I don't want to curse in the first minute of the video. You know, I don't have, unlimited amounts of resources and friends to go party with every night like it's New Year's Eve, every night in Las Vegas. I don't have time to sit down and talk people behind their backs all day, or make a video and go on Instagram and scroll all day, or get lost in a world outside of reality of what's really going on in the world right now. Because I don't have money like that, and I have a real life, and I have to make money, and I also have daily obligations to that life. So I can't make videos every day like I would want to. Okay. Um, but besides kidding and joking and being sarcastic, yeah, I've been busy, been doing stuff. I finished school since the last time I made my first two videos on this channel, which is awesome. Thank you. Why did I say thank you to you? I didn't. You guys didn't do anything. What the hell? I'm whatever. Um, but yay, but also not yay, because on average it takes anywhere from 6 months to a year, a little over a year, to find your first gig in the industry. So that sucks. I'm still trying to do that, but I know it'll happen eventually. Just it's going to take a while. That's why I've lost 15 pounds. I just was looking at my old videos. I'm like, wow, I lost weight. Like, I lost 15 pounds since that video, guys, in November. So, I mean, at least one thing's looking up. My weight's much better. Um, and also, I'm twiddling with these Chick-fil-A gift cards because, like, I feel like me playing with these, like I did it in the last video, and I stayed more on track a bit better, because when I don't have anything like to twiddle with, or like do while I'm making a video, I just keep going and rambling, and like it's not good, and I kind of go off topic, so I have to stop doing that. So I'm going to try to do this again and see if it works. And I felt like up until like the last 10 minutes of the last video when I was talking about Dustin Daly stuff, I started getting like a little anxious. I was like, I have to go. I'm getting tired of doing this for 50 minutes. um Although I could talk for like hours on it if I wanted to, but I get tired after a certain time, so I have to stop. But anyway, and also, listen, I don't know what the last, you know what it is? I think the last, no, because I found, oh, great news. I found my other ring light's power cord, so it's my LED light this time. However, excuse me, I just burnt, mess. I don't know what the hell's going on today, guys. The light, I don't know what the angle I did last time with my other light that I used, my LCD, my LED. It, like, I put on an angle, but you can still see the reflection of my glasses. And I know people say, just take your glasses off. I know every time I have to do production stuff, I take my glasses off. Okay, but I can't. I literally can't see like a foot in front of my face, because my eyes are so blurry without glasses. I can't do it, and I have to see what's going on in the screen and what's going on around me, so I can't do it. So I put the laptop on an angle. I put the light on an angle. That's why you can kind of see some shadow on my one side here. But, and also underneath my neck and underneath my nose, whatever, fine. But this is the best it's gonna get, because I can't, like, if I put it in front of me, like, I can't see like the reflections in my glasses. I can't. It doesn't look right. It's like one thing like with these, but then when I go up this far, you can see the entire reflection. So I'm not doing that. So just bear with me. I apologize. One day, somehow, some way, I'll get some more money, and I'll make sure like I'll get a light that's like actually works, or I'm gonna maybe I'll just play around with the camera next time, and the lights rather, and see like what works best. Because the last time I did it with my LCD light back in November, like the shadow contrast on my face looked fine, but like it was still reflective in the glasses. But whatever. I mean, it's just a little bit worse. Who cares? Anyway, I digress. So I want to talk about what I did last time, right? Continuing on about these stories and everything. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my first video on the channel. That's what I'm continuing on with. Um, so again, like I said, I want to talk about this stuff because I feel like when you're in this world and you see kind of like, I don't say injustice stuff, but when you're in the industry and think, which I am, because again, I have graduated from school since then, and also have had one or two small jobs in the industry, and also my internship and casting and blah blah blah. I mean, it's like, it's not like, not every other world is like this in the larger part of scale of the industry, right? Like YouTube is just a whole different ball game, right? There's not a lot of regulation around YouTube. People are allowed to do and say what they please, and it also attracts. I'm sorry to say, like some people have cluster B personality disorders. Like I think we've seen that since, well, what happened with a lot of people since 2020 or 2019, even at least, or at the most. And it's just I don't get it. Like I don't know why. I just don't know how these people are that easy to. Well, I guess it makes sense when there's more of a barrier, I guess, with being on YouTube versus someone who's like in a film or like a famous actor. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like you're able to kind of hide more stuff, I guess, if it makes sense. But again, there's also not, because I guess people also realize when you're an actor, or at least in another situation, unlike YouTube, you're acting, or like the world you're in, like in a show or a movie, is fictional, so doesn't translate the same off camera. Whereas with people on YouTube, we don't know what they're saying is true or not. You know, they're saying that they're the same person off camera they are on camera, but they're not. But you know, whatever. I digress with that. But I just feel like cathartic for this, but also I feel like now that I'm in this world, like this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I feel like, no, you're on my turf now. Like I gotta set the record straight. Like these people are lying. Like when they tell you stuff, and it's no one's fault out there. Like there's people out here who are, like they have other jobs. Like they work as dental hygienists, and they're like watching YouTube when they come home at night. So it's like they don't know what's going on behind the scenes or how most stuff operates. But whatever. Anyway, so to go into about Shane Dawson, okay, the main attraction, what I'm talking about. I want to go back like I did with Dustin Daly's stuff and talk about how I kind of like got involved in not his world directly. He and I have never talked directly ever. I don't even think I think he knows who I am by this point, but I'll explain that later into the video. But anyway, today I want to talk about the psychic twins and how I met them and how they kind of relate to all this, and why I think Shane has a problem with me, or why he just has always been, and how I think he kind of maybe manipulated my relationship with them, right? If I'm wrong about any of this, you know, that's fine. But I always have my luck. I always meet the people I talk about, this, like how I'm doing now, like an expose. And I later meet them in life. And I'm like, oh, that's just how my karma is. So I can just see me now talking to him in the future and being like, oh my God. But by that point, I'll have answers. Hopefully, you know, even if he isn't truthful, at least again, it's like a closure, right? You know, my opinions of him have changed a lot over the past 5 years. But today I'm going to try to keep just talking about the psychic twins. I don't want to talk about him right now. More so on their side right now. So, because I want to kind of give people the full story of how everything kind of transpired back in 2016. And actually, 8 years ago to this month, it was in March 2016. So, let's go back. Let's go back 8 years ago. Jesus. I was at school. I was at UNC Charlotte with my first semester in the spring of 2016. And I was going through, after class and everything, there was a lot going on with me, my mental health at the time, which I didn't really comprehend very well. But I was really depressed. Things were just not going well down at school down there. But I was watching a lot of Shane Dawson videos. And I have to tell you, I used to watch Shane back in the day, like in 09 and 010, or 2009, 2010. But like I was 13, 14. I wasn't watching like I guess I was the target audience because I was younger, but I wasn't watching like his sketches or things like that, right? I didn't really like them. I just thought they were a little too, I'll just say rambunctious for me. I didn't like them. I loved, and again, this was Colleen Ballinger too. I never watched her regular videos or her, like, you know, her what do you call them, Miranda Sings videos. I was always watching the people's daily vlogs and their behind the scenes stuff, right? Because like Colleen and like Shane, they both would show like the behind the scenes stuff with the YouTubers they were collaborating with, their behind the scenes stuff. Shane did a lot of that stuff. He used to post the vlog or like the behind the scenes vlog stuff every Saturday, and I would watch every videos every Saturday because I love that stuff. Again, makes sense because now I'm in like the film and television production industry. It all comes full circle, right? So I would always watch that stuff because I was very interested in seeing like how they would interact and know these people behind the scenes and what they were doing, what he was up to, what projects he was working on for the next video the next week. So I'd always watch that stuff. But then I kind of fell off maybe after 2011 because I was about to graduate from middle school. I went to high school. And I kind of just had this like how I feel now with a lot of these YouTubers. these bigger ones anyway. I just was like, I'm kind of sick of everybody. They're all fake. They're just playing each other for games. It's like it's messy. And I'm like, I'm not worried about this. And I went to high school and all, a whole bunch of other stuff was going on in my life. So it was like I forgot. I didn't watch any Shane Dawson videos or anybody for like 4 years. I had no idea what was going on YouTube, right? Or like in the sense of like the YouTuber influencer side of things, right? I was watching YouTube, but like history documentaries and like train videos. It wasn't, like it wasn't YouTube celebrity pop culture stuff. That's for sure. Um, but I forget what happened. I just like because I saw like a tweet of his on Twitter or something back then, and people were saying, "Oh, I love your new videos." I'm like, "What's he talking about?" And so I like started. He was making like his food videos every day back then in 2016 when I was watching. So I went through everything and I found out he came out as bisexual. He was doing this. He was doing that. He broke up with Lisa. I didn't know any of this, right? So I'm like going through everything so quickly and figuring out what's going on and what he's changed in his life and everything. Um, and at the same time, I'm like really so. I'm finding out he's doing a podcast. He did a podcast before he went to full screen. They took on his podcast, and he was doing it through their streaming service. Don't you miss full screen, by the way? It's a shame they didn't have a better financial opening in the sense of like taking money in because like I would love to watch people do streaming stuff on YouTube today. Like actually like although the YouTubers are messy, like the shows are on full screen were really good, like all the podcasts and the other thing I forget what they were doing with I forget her name, but Grace Helbig's full screen podcasting was really good too. It's a shame that didn't work out because people were like I guess like pirating everything and putting it on YouTube. But anyway, so I was going through all his stuff and I found out that there was these two girls called the Psychic Twins, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I found them on his other YouTube channel. I found them on on the podcast with him or another video with him that they did. And I was like, wow, this is so awesome, and like I just was intrigued by it all, right? And I remembered the Psychic Twins. I remember seeing them on the Tyra Banks show when I was much younger. I think they went on in 08 or 09, maybe even 07. I can't remember. But I was with my babysitter. I'll never forget that she was watching me at my house, and we were watching the Tyra Banks show. It was still, still syndicated. She was still doing it, actively. And she had the Psychic Twins on. I remember being like so enthralled by them. I went, "Oh my god, I love these girls." And I couldn't find their information online. I couldn't remember what they said their website was called back then. I couldn't remember, and I forgot all about them. But then, of course, 7 years later, I find them with Shane Dawson. I'm like, oh my god. So I was like, wow, I know these girls. I remember them from the Tyra Banks show. And so I started like searching up all their stuff and like reading all their YouTube videos. And then I just found out that Shane had started a collaboration channel with them back in December 2015. So by that point, it was like 4 months old or something like that. And they were doing collabs with all these YouTubers. And again, through that, I found out I didn't know who Trisha Paytas was until 2016. I had no idea. Didn't know who Drew Monson was. I didn't know who Colleen Ballinger was. I didn't know who Tana Mojo was. I didn't know who any of these people were. It was all because of Shane. Like I met everyone through Shane by that point, right? Like because he was collabing with everyone and doing videos with them, right? So in any case, I really like the Psychic Twins still to this day. I think they're really nice ladies. Again, I'm going to put this. That's why I'm making this video too. We've been friendly, and we aren't friends, but we were friendly for a time, and I really did like them, and I hope they still like me to some degree. But in any case, so I was going through all his stuff, and I was listening to the podcast that Shane did with him, the first podcast that he did with him on his podcast. And I was going through their videos that they also did on YouTube in collaboration with people, and also his prediction and readings that they did with him. And so I found them on Facebook. I liked it because again, their Facebook profile back then, it was their private account, but like they transferred over to be like their public account now, so anyone can go and like it and follow their page or whatever. But back then, I found them like, oh, because they were using it as like their Suedo fan account. So of course I added them, and they were so nice. And so they were like, they were very nice to all the fans who would respond. They would like respond to as many people as I could. I'm going through all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this, I remember that, blah, 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 blah. And it's funny, well, I'll talk about it another day. But I was going to say something, but then I don't want to get off topic because if I do that, I'll forget where I am. So, anyway, uh, I don't remember actually. I added them on Facebook. They added me back. They responded to the friend request. They accepted it. They had like 5,000 friends, but then again, like I said, they transferred it over eventually to a public page so everyone could like it and follow them. Um, so they would like put the uploads of collaborations because they were doing with people, because again Shane was helping them edit the videos and put them up on their YouTube channel. And so they would say, oh, we just did a video with Joy Graceffa, or we did a video with Trisha Paytas, who was one of the first people who did it. She actually did. I think she's like the fifth or fourth person, or the fourth person, I think, in February 2016 to do the collaboration with them on their channel with the psychic predictions. But I was always like writing underneath the comments like, oh, I love you girls so much. You guys are awesome. I love this video. You guys are really like, I feel like the person who was watching really liked what you said. It was very like, it was very, responsive in the way I used to say things, where I wasn't on every single video or every post they were putting on their Facebook fan page, like blah, 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 blah. I wasn't doing that, right? But they would always compliment me, and they always would write back and say, or like my thing. I said, like, thank you, Andrew. We really appreciate it. We're trying to get more videos and more views on our videos, get more subscribers. So we really appreciate you liking the video. So time is progressing, I mean, from March to like December 2016, I really wasn't like, nothing crazy happened in the sense of like what was going on. But again, I was learning who all these people were. I was watching their videos. I was still learning who, like, all these people that Shane was like bringing into like Trevor Moran. I didn't know who Trevor Moran was back, or Trevi Moran was back then. I had no idea. Like O2L, I didn't know who any of these people were. I did like, he would bring it up in videos. I'm like, who the hell are these people, So I was like, it was a lot of learning back then, So, long story short, so we get to December 2016. I'm now going to school in Millersville, up in Pennsylvania, at Millersville University, and which also didn't. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that another day too. so many offshoots about what happened to my life, guys. Things that weren't my fault. They had, I forget what the video was, but they had just recently they uploaded a video. They did a collaboration with someone else, another YouTuber, in December 2016, which was a year since the first video that they did with Shane on when they launched the channel a year ago. Before that, in December 2015. So I wrote a comment. I said, I really like this video. I said this was one of the better ones you guys have done. Like I forget who it was. I don't remember what celebrity YouTuber it was. But it was like, I felt like they were really comfortable with you. I think the chemistry was really good. This video it just jived well. I said the vibes were better. The jive, the conversation between you was it just worked out better. And I said something like wholeheartedly like that. And they loved the comment. They were like, oh, thank you so much for really saying that. We really do appreciate it. We tried changing something up, and I'm glad people are seeing it like you did. So they said that in response. And then maybe like 10 minutes later, I got like a friend request from Terry. I think it was Terry, or maybe, it was Terry Jamison's Facebook page. Because again, like I said, back then they were using their private account, but I was following them. They didn't follow me back. I think I just said that they added me on Facebook back in March. That wasn't true. They did it in December. I apologize. Correction. So no, I was following them, but like I said back then, they didn't do like a public fan page yet. They didn't change the format of their account yet. So Terry sent, because it was Terry's account, so Terry Jamieson was the Psychic Twins. So she sent me a friend request. So I'm like, and I swear to God, I remember this so well. I was going to the mall to pick up my mom's Christmas present, because it was like the week before Christmas. It was right before school was about to get done. So I took the bus from the school to the Park City Mall in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I swear to God, I'll never forget it. I'm on the bus and I'm looking down, and it said friend request. I'm like, what? Like, there's no way she sent me a friend. And I accepted it. I'm like, oh my God, it is her. And so I accepted it. I couldn't believe it. I was like so ecstatic. I was like, oh my God, it was cool, guys. It was really cool to be like, oh my God, they're like YouTube celebrities, and like they added me on Facebook. So I went to the mall. I got my mom's present. I got back on the bus to go back to the university. I get off the bus. I go up to my dorm, and I said, I look, and I sent them a message, because I said, maybe they think I'm someone else, maybe it was a mistake. I said, hey girls, thank you so much for adding me on Facebook. I said, I just want to make sure that's correct, right? Like, you meant to send that to me, right? They're like, oh yeah, like we really like, and they said, very sweetly. They said, we love your energy. We feel like you're a good person. We want to add you on Facebook because we really do like you. We only do it to people that we really like. I'm like, okay, I believe that, and thank you for saying that. But I think that was a really nice, they didn't have to respond with anything like that, right? But they did. So, confirmation for me, they actually did add me on Facebook. So, long story short, we're continuing on, and we're going on and doing stuff. And, like, life's going on. It's like, I didn't really think that much of it. We would talk here and there between let's see, December 2016 to probably early 2020, maybe. We would like kind of like message each other back and forth sometimes. I would message them sometimes and just like say, like, responding to like posts they put on their Facebook, on their Instagram reels and everything like that. Same thing in their comments on their Facebook page. I would do that, or I would respond on their YouTube videos and say things. Like, again, it was very complimentary because, again, I did like what they were doing. Right? It was different. It was different the way their energy was, the way they presented themselves and everything, and just they were. I felt like they were really nice girls, and I call them the girls, by the way. So anytime I say the girls, I'm talking about the psychic twins. I mean, it wasn't a friend relationship. It was a friendly relationship, right? Like, I was very friendly with them, and they weren't telling me secrets about YouTubers, right? Number one. And number two, I wasn't asking for that because I know that's not my place to, right? Like, I'm not anyone on Facebook or YouTube that has power to garner or to like sit there and like criticize YouTubers or talk smack behind someone's back, right? It's not my place, unfortunately. When I say unfortunately, by the way, I don't mean like I want to, but again, the sense of it's not. I don't have the justification to do it anyway. Like, I'm not a famous influencer. So, I'm trying to think. There was a lot going on, and and I also read their books. I loved they Separated Earth and everything. And I also want to preface this really quick too. I love them a lot. I know a lot of people say that they're fake, that they don't get their predictions from anybody, or like these people tell them what to say in the videos. I think that's such a crock of crap because, number one, the amount of things that they predict that have come true over the years, they've forgotten stuff, right? I used to have to go on their Twitter account and say, like, girls, like, I would see them paparazzi, like, they would do videos with Shane Dawson, right, for their, like, yearly predictions or, like, pop culture predictions, and, like, they would predict something in a video with him, and I'm like, girls, you said this at, like, the timestamp of 5:35, and it just came true. There was a paparazzi tabloid that just came out saying that this person, they're going to like do an independent career or something, or they're someone in their family died and they're changing up their style. They're like, oh my God, we didn't see that. So then they would retweet my tweet and they would retweet the story that I would tell them, or that someone else would. And I wasn't the only one doing this. Like, other people on their Twitter would say, like, girls, you predicted this. Like, this came true. They're like, oh my God, we didn't know. And they would retweet it, and they would also retweet the story to show the confirmation of it, right? For legitimacy reasons, right? So, and I just want to say this too. The amount of people that they would have to know to get information from people out in LA and even in the government. Someone said years ago that they knew someone in the CIA. They don't know no one in the CIA who's giving them secrets, right? They would be in prison, right? They'd be in federal prison right now if that was the case, right? But also, too, the amount of people that they would have to know to get all these secrets from and make these correct predictions if they weren't actually psychics, that would be difficult to do. Like, they would have to know so many people. And I think even Terry or Linda made a joke about it years ago in a video saying, if we knew that many people, we wouldn't be doing this on YouTube right now. And that's the truth, right? So, and here's the thing. If they were fake, I would be upset, but at the same time, I love them because I think, like, just like how they present themselves on camera is awesome. Listen, as I like to say now in this industry, because I'm part of it now, it's a shock but not surprised. If something were to shock me, it wouldn't surprise me either. Like, it's just how it goes, because it's showbiz and things are, put in front of a curtain, they look different versus what they are off camera behind the curtain, But I have to think to some level that they have to have some good intuitive sense, or at least be somewhat psychic, because how the hell would they make these predictions if, like, it's just like they're just doing one person for all these years. Like, they do several predictions of several people. There's no way they'd be able to do it, right? It would be nearly impossible to know that many people and know that much dirt on everybody and not, you know what I mean? Like, someone would know by this point, right? Someone would be like, yeah, they're getting their predictions from someone on the inside, and they're lying about being psychics. They're just, it would be difficult to kind of hide that kind of stuff, right? So, And even if they aren't, like, they must have good intuition, because how would they be able to do that? But I just, there's no reasonable explanation for them not being able to do that, you know, or being able to do that without like assistance, right? Like, we would figure it out. Anyway, I digress. So, excuse me, I shouldn't drink water before I do this. I burp. I have acid reflux. It's a mess. Anyway, so, time's going on, and I would like comment here and there and say things to them, or they would say things to me. I wrote like really nice reviews about their one book on Amazon Books for, I think, Separated Earth, like I said, and they really liked it. They sent me a nice message. They said, thank you so much for doing that. And again, I really like them. I like their energy. I think they're very sweet. I love them. They're from Westchester, Pennsylvania, so they're close to where I grew up here in the Philadelphia area. So I feel not a kindred relationship, but I feel like I know them like a bit better than if they were from the Midwest or something, right? I really like them. I think they're cool. And their dad was a beautiful painter. Oh my God, his stuff was just gorgeous. If you never, anyway, I don't want to bring their personal people into that, but again, it's just their dad's artwork is just, it's magnificent. But anyway, I'm so upset I didn't get to go to the art installation up in Westchester when they had his stuff up at the university. I was so busy. But his water paintings are just, I think they're water paintings. They're just, there's one, this winterscape one of a farm out in the middle of the winter in Westchester. It's gorgeous. But anyway, so, time is going on, life's going on with my life, life's going on with their life. Somewhere around, so in April of 2018, which is the purpose of this video, I was on YouTube. I was watching things, and I was like, kind of like, we were very active that year between me and the Psychic Twins. We were like, I would say things to them, they would respond and say things to me. Very friendly conversation, right? And I want to say this too. They never, and I'm going to say this before I go on the record with anything else I'm about to say. They were never nasty. They never talked smack about anybody. They never gave away secrets or like things that happened privately in the readings with people that they did talking to me. None of that, right? I can't speak on that if people that they know in the industry, like if, like, for example, who's someone they did a thing with, the Dolan twins, if they talked, more smack with them about other people, I don't think they're that way at all. I think they're very professional. Even Peter Mon said that, like, they're very professional. They never taught, they always kept it strictly business and strictly friendly communication between me and them. It was never, they never sat there and did anything that would give you a hint of them being sly or deceitful in any sense of the words, right? And so, okay. And so, I would never, and again, like I said, I never pulled for anything because it wasn't my business to pull for information like that. They never would do that, right? They just, and even what I'm about to tell you, they didn't tell me the full story until I found out later myself by my own accord, right? Okay. So, if you all remember, Jason Nash and Trisha Paytas were dating in 2018 for the entire year of 2018. In April, I believe, I'm going to look on my phone right now as I'm talking to you about this. Trisha and Jason, I believe, did a video with the Psychic Twins, if I have this right, where they did a collaboration with them about, getting married or like their relationship and like their past lives and everything. Here it is. Psychic readings for Trisha Paytas and Jason Nash. 5 years ago. Whoops, that's the audio from it. When was this? May 4th, 2018. Okay, so yeah, late April, I talked about this with them. So they were doing the collaboration a bit earlier because obviously production takes a bit longer to actually do. It's not like people, listen, some YouTubers used to do that back in the day, but now it doesn't work like that. You need at least 1 or 2 weeks to get things up and going. Edited and put out there, right? So they put in their, what am I trying to say? They put in their Instagram reels back. It was an Instagram story. I'm sorry, not reels. It's Instagram story, Insta stories. Into like late April of 2018, they said, look out for the next video with us and Jason Nash and Trisha doing readings with them on our channel and also on her channel after we post our video, right? And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I replied to the story and I said, oh my God, so excited for this collaboration. So excited to see what happens. Hope everything goes well. Let me know if you need anything or what's going to happen, right? And they said, and when I said if you need anything, let me know, like if you want me to, put it on my YouTube or whatever. oh, not my YouTube, on my Twitter, like I'll retweet it and like, you know, do everything like that. Cause I did, I like to support them. They were really, again, the twins were really nice to me. Um, so I said that, and here's the thing: I still have the conversations in my phone from the Instagram, but I don't want to read them because I feel like that's too personal for that, and I don't really want to. I don't want to do it for that thing. I have one thing I'm going to show. I'm going to read to you that they said to me, which I was like, oh, it makes sense now. But I don't feel like, and that was personal information between the both of us. So I'm just going to give you. I'm going to tell you this way, right? Because I don't think doing it that way would really make sense anyway, because again, if I can just sit here and tell you this, like, I can't prove anything. Like, they just tell me one thing, but it's not like they show me pictures or like video clips of them like collaborating with her. It's like it doesn't make sense anyway, right? But they said, so they responded to my Instagram response to their messages, and they said, oh, we're so excited for this collab, Andrew. And I will never forget it. My mom and I were on our way to Applebee's. We were in the car. We pulled up in the parking lot at Applebee's. We were about to go in. It was my birthday week. It was my birthday was like 1 or 2 days before. Or no, it was about to be my birthday. It was April 30th or 29th. And they said, oh, Andrew, thank you so much. We'll let you know when it's uploaded. We'll let you retweet it, whatever. But we were a little bit nervous because Trisha has not posted her stuff yet. She hasn't gotten back to us. And then I was like, oh, what does that mean? She says, and again, most of the time I think it was Terry talking to me, but also sometimes Linda would talk to me. You could tell, like, Linda protects her sister. Like, Linda's the protective one over Terry. You know, Terry's more like, this is so bad to say, but Terry's like the one who like gravitates towards gays. Allah, hello. You know, so, but in any case, so they said to me, they said, you know, we did the video with Trisha. We're really excited about it, but, you know, we're a bit nervous because Trisha hasn't gotten back to us about something yet. And she hasn't said when she's going to upload her video. And they said, we may have said something to her when we were doing the video that she didn't like hearing or that upset her. So we're not sure what's going to happen. We just uploaded our video. It's uploading right now. We don't know what's going to happen. And I went, ooh. So I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. And so I didn't know what I took it a different way, right? Because they didn't tell me the entire story. And I'm going to tell you what the entire story to that was later, because I realized I put 2 and 2 together. Again, not because they were being deceitful, but because, again, they're not throwing out all their drama out there to everybody, right? So I responded back. Like I said, we were in Applebee's. We were about to walk into Applebee's. And I said to them, I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so I said, listen, Trisha likes you guys. Someone's car is beeping. I'm so sorry. Are you kidding me? I'm going to keep going. Should I keep going? I'm going to keep going. Anyway, so Trisha, so I said, listen, Trisha loves you guys. She doesn't hate you. Whatever she's mad about, it's not about towards you independently. She loves the other people. Here's the thing with Trisha. We all know this, right? Like, if Trisha gets mad about a situation, she'll let you know. If she's mad about a different situation versus what's being told to her on camera, it's a bit different. Oh my God, this beeping. It stopped. Oh my God, thank you, Lord. Whoo, so, listen, I don't want to have to jump cut this stuff, but like at the same time, I was about to stop and say, I'm going to have to edit this stuff and put 2 videos together because I'm not doing that with that beeping behind me. Okay, back to the story. So they were nervous because they thought Trisha was mad at them directly, like with them and how they, like what they told her in their psychic predictions, right? Or how they were like wording it to me. But I said, listen, girls, like, Trisha loves you. She was one of the first people to do the readings with you back last year, or 2 years ago in 2016. She's not going to be like that. She loves you. She's more upset about what you said versus at you than what you were telling her, if that makes sense. I said, everything will be okay. I said, Trisha's always on her game. She always uploads her videos. She always comes through. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. And they said, thank you so much. You know, basically, you know, we haven't heard from her yet, so we're really nervous because, like, they were saying, like, we were supposed to upload our video first, and then she was going to upload her video second, or, like, do it after we did. So, or I think that was the situation. I have to go back and read what they said, but again, I don't want to, like, there's no point in doing it because, again, it's not the major detail of the story. But in any case, so eventually Trisha did upload her side of the videos and everything that they did that same collaborative production time with Jason Nash when they went over to go see this, when they went over to go see the Psychic Twins at their apartment and everything. Everything worked out, right? So years later, well, not even years later, like a year later, after they broke up, her and Jason Nash and Trisha and Jason Nash broke up. Jason um, was on a podcast with someone. I don't remember who it was. It wasn't the podcast him and David used to do. It wasn't the Views podcast. It was another podcast. It wasn't like a video. It was a podcast. I remember that. So I don't know how they got into it. They were talking, like the guy or the person he was talking to. Yeah, it was a guy, I think. I am so sorry. Excuse me. I keep burping. Um, Trisha. So no, Jason was. I don't forget how it came up. They were like making jokes about like oh, they were talking about the Psychic Twins. They go, oh, did they tell you actual real stuff? Like was it like real stuff? And Jason said yes. He goes, yeah, they actually predicted stuff about my life that was actually real and like true. And they went, oh, really? And then I forget how it kind of segued over to her and him and Trisha. Oh, I think I actually remember now. I wish I could find the video. I don't know. Listen, hey, if someone out there knows what video it is, what podcast that was videotaped or recorded on YouTube where he went on, it wasn't that far after him and Trisha broke up in February 2018 or February 2019. Like it was later that year in 2019. So I don't know where it is, what it was, who podcast it was, but it was definitely he went on someone else's podcast. It was not David. So if you can find it, put it in the comments below. All right. And so he was into like, oh, did they say things about you and Trisha? And Jason, you could kind of tell, was nervous, like he didn't want to talk about it. He's like, yeah, they kind of did tell us that we were going to break up. And the guy's like, oh, tell us more. And he said, like, he had a co-host too, this guy, whatever. And so Jason basically said, like, yeah, like Trisha in the middle of it, like everything was going great. The reading was awesome. He goes, we were having a great time with them. They're very nice ladies. It was awesome. Like we had a great time. He goes, in the middle of something, Trisha asked the girls, do you see me and Jason getting married? And it was basically where the twins said like something like, no, we don't see you getting married. We actually see you breaking up. Something to that degree, right? Because that's what Jason said. And he said after they said that to her, like right in the moment after she asked that question, because they were still taping or recording the video for the collaborative stuff that they were doing together that day. Trisha, he said, got really quiet. She got really cold, and her energy changed that after that happened, right? And she just got really weird after that. During like for the rest of the time there, they were doing the collaboration with the Psychic Twins. And he said that they got back in the car after they left their apartment, the Psychic Twins apartment. And he said, and he was talking about this in the podcast. Watch this podcast not even be up anymore because David told him to take it down. Of course, it's like a mess. It's whatever. But I'm telling you this. I watched it. I watched this. I remember seeing this. I'm not making this up. There's no way. But he said once him and Trisha got back in the car after that day after they were with the Psychic Twins, he said, "Listen," he goes, "it's just a prediction. Don't worry about now. Worry about the future. We're having a great time now. You know I love you. You know everything's okay right now. Nothing's wrong." So, and he said that made Trisha feel a lot better because the way Jason explained it in the podcast with the people was that Trisha felt, oh my God, I swear to God, this horn stuff, I can't. I'm gonna keep going. Jason basically was like, listen, I don't want to make anyone upset. I don't want to make you think that I don't love you or something like that. But he goes, don't worry about that kind of stuff. Like we're okay in the moment. But he basically made it, from what I can tell and with the way he was trying to explain it by being nice, but not kind of like upsetting Trisha, even though they already were broken up, was the sense that Trisha felt like, what was the point of anything in that moment? Like, why are we even here? Why are we even sitting here doing this collaboration if like you see me and Jason breaking up in the future? Like, what's the point of us doing this video? Like, you know what I mean? Like how you kind of go in your head like, what's the point of anything right now if nothing's going to work out? You know what I mean? So I think that he saw that, and also the twins saw that, because for them to say that to me back in April 2018 when they were making the video versus when Jason saw in real time with them when they were there with making the video with them in their apartment tells you a lot that you need to know, right? So they weren't lying about that. They were telling the truth that they were nervous that like Trisha was going to be upset and like expose them or like go off the deep end or like do something like crazy. Um, but again, I didn't know that. I put two and I was like, so after I watched Jason's podcast, I was like, oh my god, that two and two together. That's what the twins told me in the Instagram messages, that they were upset about what happened with Trisha, because like she asked that question to them and they said that they didn't see them staying together. They saw them breaking up. They didn't see them getting married, and that's why Trisha got upset. And that's why they told me like they were nervous that Trisha wasn't even going to upload her video to YouTube. So, but again, like I said, and I'm not the only one who would say this. I feel like other drama channels will talk about this too, where Trisha, it's one thing if you make her upset directly yourself, or she has an issue with you, then she's going to get upset and like go off on you, like put an expose video out about you. But I think because it was about the situation between the relationship with her and Jason, and her hearing that, it made her feel much less positive and sure about what was going to happen in the future with them. So she wasn't mad at the twins directly. She was mad about the situation. And like I said even earlier, without knowing all the details, like I did realize later on after I was seeing Jason go on that podcast, I realized that, and I said the same thing like I did. It was, Trisha's not mad at you. She's mad about what you said. That's different. Trisha doesn't get mad like that. When it's directed towards someone, yes. When it's about the situation, it's a bit different. And that's all her actions throughout the years with all the situations. You can go watch them and believe me when I say that. So that happened, and I realized that was because of what happened with them, right? And I was like, oh wow. And again, I'm telling you this not because I'm like trying to like look at my street credit. I was doing all this stuff with the Psychic Twins. No, I'm trying to tell you because I'm trying to show you the interactions and what we kind of were doing together, or at least like the interactions, the communication we had going for a little bit. In any case, time goes on, nothing else is really happening. I would say something to them, they would say something to me. We would talk to each other, blah blah blah. Sometime in late 2018, 2019, something changed. Something changed in like late 2018 or late 2019, somewhere around there, where they stopped kind of talking to me as much, or like I could feel like they were holding back from what they were trying to tell me, and I'm not sure why that. I have a feeling why. And this the point I'm getting to in the next video is why I'm telling you this stuff in this video right now. But I would like message them or like comment on like one of their posts they would put on their Instagram stories. I'd say love this, or like hope you girls are doing okay, and the responses were much shorter, but still nice, still cordial, but just much less of the energy that was there before, like the very nice bubbly energy we both had going between the three of us, right? And I'm not sure what happened. And so I was a bit worried. Something, what happened? Why? I don't understand what's going on. So I did like kind of say one time, I messaged them. I was like, "Hey, girls, just want to kind of like," and it wasn't just me. I could kind of see it like in their Twitter, like they were less active on their Twitter accounts and stuff like that. I said, "Girls, is everything okay? Like you guys kind of seem quiet. Not talking to me as much anymore, or like you just kind of seem a bit distant from everything." They're like, "Yeah, just to be honest with you, YouTube's a lot. We're just kind of like taking a break and going away because it just seems like it's more hostile of an environment." And boy, were they right. Before everything hit the fan later, a year and a half later in 2020, and the way YouTube went, not even with the COVID stuff, but just YouTube itself with everybody. With Shane and with David and with Jeffree Star and all these other people, James Charles, blah blah blah. So they weren't wrong about that, but I felt like it was something also personally with me, because I'm like, it just I could feel it. Listen, my intuition's pretty darn good. I'm not an empath by any means. I don't consider myself an empath, but my intuitive sense is really good, right? I have good gut instincts. So I wasn't sure what was going on, and I didn't really want to pick at it because, again, it's not, like I said, it's not my business to pick at it because, again, I'm not famous like they are. I'm not an influencer. It's like they're telling me that's it, then that's it. I'm not going to jump into it. But I didn't know what was happening. I was really, something just changed before that, right? But before that change happened, between the way they were communicating with me and like how much they would actually respond to me with, in the summer of 2018, the girls put out a video on their YouTube channel, and I saw that they put a post about it on their Facebook group or their Facebook page. By this point, they had already changed the private account to a fan page, you know, like a public, you know, you can follow this person and, you know, like all their stuff, blah, 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 on Facebook. They, ba, 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 ba. I hate when I hate when I get like this because I'm like not paying attention now. Okay. So they put out a video, or like they said on their Facebook, hey, if you want to put your own prediction to our next video, put it below in the comments. We might use it for our video. So they said any predictions about, you know, YouTube celebrities, pop culture stuff, mainline industry people, and they like also like celebrities like in the films or television stuff. Like if you have it, like tell us and we'll upload it and put it in our thing. So I did. I said I said I see Jeffree Star like kind of like leaving the beauty community so much, like doing like starting out a candy and food line, like doing more cosmetic stuff for like facial scrubs, cleansers, lotion kind of stuff, body wash, body products, stuff like that. And they used it. They actually used it in their video. So I couldn't believe it. I went, oh my goodness. And so I said, oh my gosh, they talked about it and everything. I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, they're using my thing. I can't believe it. So I'm going to try and find this right now while I'm sitting here with you because I want to do it live. I don't want to edit this.
And you're going to have
I don't want to do this unless, and I just found the comment underneath the video. Okay, so it's entitled Spilling More Tea. They uploaded on September 19th, 2018. They asked for the prediction stuff, I think, at the end of August. So it took almost a month for them to actually upload the video. Or may have been early September that they did. No, it was August. I did on August 30th, I did that. Which, by this point, Shane was also starting his collaborative stuff with Jeffree Star. So just think about that swirling in the back of your mind, okay? Alright, I'm going to try to see if I can find this, where I talked about this. I'm not going to show the video because I don't want to get copyrighted and I don't want them getting mad at me. But they used my prediction and they put it in their video. I'm not lying about this stuff, right? So here we go.
Or whatever. And so many people are adopting and doing surrogates that, you know, if she wants 4, she certainly can. Actually, this prediction comes from Andrew Rose, who is a writer and a student. Jeffree Star is going to launch a skincare line and personals line by the end of 2019. Body wash, cologne, facial scrub, lotion, and conditioner. I see a high focus for facial options, as he is in the beauty industry. A new cleansing sponge for acne care. Wow, maybe you should be his business consultant, Andrew. Or ours. Now, Randy Chandler said...
Okay. So that was my little stint they put inside their prediction video. And it was entitled, like I said, Spilling More Tea. Uploaded on September 19, 2018. That's around the 4:30 mark to the 5:15 mark. Now, I want to say this, right? Because, again, I've gone to school for this stuff now. And after this video came out, something changed. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, they just were not, I don't know. Oh, and I also put a comment underneath the video, and I said on my private channel that I don't post on there anymore, I said, wow, thank you for putting my prediction in that video. I felt that that's where his direction towards skincare is headed next. Love you, XOXO. And I think they did. I think they liked it, and someone else liked it too. So I have no idea who did, but I think they liked it. I don't remember that comment on their YouTube comments underneath the video. But anyway, so going to school now for this stuff, right? For production and editing and everything like that. When you see a jump cut now, like I'm trained, my brain's trained this way now. When I saw the jump cut where they were talking about me, I'm like, that's strange. Like they were talking about me and there's like a jump cut right there, like around the 5-minute mark. And they were saying this is, and again, they were giving me, because they knew me somewhat personally, they were saying this is Andrew Rose, he's a student and he's a writer, and they put that in the video, right? Listen, they didn't have to do that, which was very sweet. I felt the same way I did when they added me on Facebook in December 2016. I was like, oh my God, like they put me on a YouTube video, you know? I still feel the same way. When I went back to watch those videos, because I forgot that stuff existed, right? And I was looking, and I'm like, oh my God, like Shane Dawson, like edits these videos. Like he's the one helping them edit this stuff, like and put this stuff together for their channel, right? So I'm like, Shane Dawson must have jump cutted something that they were talking about me, and then like jump cut it and put it next to the next clip. Like he spliced something out in post production and then like put it together. Because when you go back and watch it, like there's a jump cut right where I'm talking about Jeffree Star, and
people are adopting.
I just want to go back and watch it one more time. So I apologize, just so I can get my story straight.
You know,
okay.
if she wants free, actually, this prediction comes from Andrew Rose, who is a writer and a student. Jeffree Star is going to launch a skincare line and personals line by the end of 2019. Body wash, cologne, facial scrub, lotion, and conditioner. I see a high.
Yeah, it's literally right at the 5-minute mark. There's a huge jump cut. So it's not like just like he spliced like a couple seconds. And so I want in case all the drama channels know what I'm talking about, all the YouTube people, production people know what I'm talking about. When you were jump cutting on YouTube, right? Like when you watch a Tana Mojo video, she jump cuts because she's trying to do the pacing to get faster. So she'll splice out like 1 or 2 seconds between two major things happening in a video. Where with this jump cut, it's a major piece. Like it's not like it just like he cut out 1, 2, or 3 seconds. It's like they stopped, then he told him to go start shooting again, and he like jump cutted to that next portion of the video, of that clip. So I have to wonder about this now, right? And I'm going to talk about this in my next video. Why this is so important to me to kind of understand. Something happened after that, because now going back and watching the video, because I didn't realize this back then when they uploaded this, but to see the way that jump cut is, it's not like on anyone else's video, the prediction stuff that they did in that video, and they were talking about me personally. So I have to wonder if something happened that Shane told them to kind of stay away from me, or he lied about something. I have no idea. I'm just like, I have a personal. What am I going to try to say? How am I going to say this? I have a personal viewpoint of how or what happened. I'm not sure if it's true. And listen, if I'm wrong and someone points it out that I'm wrong, and I'm just going, I'm thinking too much about it, that's fine. I will sit here, I will apologize, and I will say nothing's wrong. Sorry, Shane Dawson, you didn't do anything. But I have a feeling that something here was kind of orchestrated because Shane kind of put his hand where it wasn't supposed to be, so to speak. So the next video I'm going to talk about that. I wanted to end on that. Sorry, this video was 52 minutes, but again, I can't just stop. I had to give you the entire story. I just can't do it in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It doesn't work that way for me. So part 2 is coming. I'm going to do it right now. See you soon. Bye.